How many of you are web developers here? Just raise your hand. One, two, three. All right. All right. Only two. All right, Raghav, Priya. All right. Fine then. I think cool. So yeah. So if you're a web developer, so you can just what you can just basically do is developer, you just go and get generate these responses. And when you serve these responses in the front end, you can just use a markdown parser to parse these well. So this would basically help you like put up a good GUI on this, make it like just surf it up in front end or maybe back end, and you have actually a good project that you can show. And since your internship season is also coming, guys, so you can keep on searching for jobs with these. I think it will be actually a good way to get started with GenAI while also trying to secure internships on different positions. Maybe you never know. So what did we do in this? So anybody does anybody have like till what point were you able to follow? Saravanan, Hariharan, hello.
So it's like we are just with our resume. It's suggesting
Yeah.
the relevant job.
So like
With,
yeah, pretty much. So like this was basically about you setting up a database, like a database of actual data where you can store your jobs. You can pick the relevant jobs at one, like jobs at one place, which is MongoDB, right? And from MongoDB as well as like in a quadrant, you're picking up the data. So why did I store in MongoDB is because later on, if you might need a lot more like information, like okay, I want to do a full text search. In that case, quadrant won't help you, right? Just as we explained the last day. Do you remember we mentioned the BM25 algorithm, the full text search? How many of you remember that? All right. Yep. So the BM25 full text search algorithm is something that MongoDB gives you out of the box very well. So if you want to further, let's say this was just a very simple example I just picked up from Quadrant, right? But in case you want to make your search feature more powerful, as in this case, you might miss out on a lot of things that Quadrant, like lot of vectors, or maybe you have just overfetched or underfetched the information. So this is like a very open problem. So you might in this case, for example, you might have fetched some jobs that might not have been relevant, or some jobs that might have been relevant but have been missed. You have to define your search strategy accordingly. You have to identify the edge cases, as in when you do your work, and then continue working on this. So yeah, so Saravana Karthik, so like, can you just create a GitHub repo and just post it somewhere?
sure, sure.
Yeah, just post it and we'll just share it in the meet link here itself.
Sir,
Yeah, Shiva Shakti, please. Go ahead. Please go ahead.
sir, like I have a doubt, sir. Like I want a general framework, other things that we
Pardon?
should follow to create any projects, like a general framework.
Okay, so this is a very big question, but all right, I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. So yeah, so since generative AI is something that's like it has a wide spectrum of applications, right? So you can just start off with maybe just take one example that okay, this is something that I can automate. For example, writing essays, or let's say, so how many of you want to do higher studies? Just raise your hands. Anyone? Or is everyone up for a job itself? Salon, I think these are not the files. Cancel them. Choose your files. No, your OpenAI workshop. I think you pasted it there. Except the when upload everything. Yes. Maybe leave aside your document, but it's all right. Yep, you can save it. Just save the like just search the copy the GitHub URL repo and send it to me. Send it in the chat so that everybody can use it. Nice. So yeah, so Siva Shakti. So the point is there's no general framework per se, but what you need is to understand that okay, what are the points you can automate, right? So Gene is very good at automating the content, but if you want it to think, so in that case it would be very difficult. For example, here it actually like here in this project itself, it actually served through the like applications and then gave it to you, right? It just served through that and just gave a general framework to you, like a general overview for where to apply, how to apply. I didn't put in much instructions here, but let's say you wanted to display in a particular JSON format, right? So in that case, you have to mold it in a particular way so that you can serve it through other APIs. Does that make sense? That thinking you have to do. It's less about, it's honestly, to be frank, it's less about like what is a general framework. It's more about the domain knowledge, because LangChain and these are implementation things. You can do it, right? It's more about how you model the data so that you can put it in steps and automate that as much as possible. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Sir, and uh, I hear that you have created your own language model. Like how that start, like how the
Pardon? Couldn't hear you.
Sir, I heard that you have a language model that you
Yeah.
created. So I need to know the workflow has been and which part.
It's a large language model. I won't say very large, but yeah, it's moderately large. Not small language model either. But what we did was we made it more efficient so that it can serve more people while consuming less compute resources. So that's what we do here at Alchemist. I didn't want to market here because it was supposed to be a workshop, but all right, I think I'll talk it about here itself. Sampath sir, I think we can stop the recording because this is just going to be some additional Q&A maybe.